Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is quite a few things to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you the latest news on Marcus Rashford. Also then going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Paul Pogba. I have been talking with you guys about Paul Pogba on a regular basis, but actually, recently positivity has come out regarding Paul Pogba. For those Manchester United fans that want him to stay, I think the vast majority of our fans actually, do now want Paul Pogba to stay at the football club and that. And then a bit later on in the video, I'll go through with you, of what I mentioned on my recent videos today. So let's start with the news on Marcus Rashford. So reportedly, back in 2018, which was 2 years ago now, Marcus Rashford agreed to join Barcelona. But reportedly, he didn't go to Barcelona because he feared that he would not fit in at the new camp. But it did reveal that Barcelona tried to get Marcus Rashford shortly after the start of the 2017 and 2018 season. So this is, what it has said. Obviously, Barcelona were seeing Marcus Rashford as a long-term replacement for Luis Suarez at the time and that. But obviously, we was reluctant to offload Marcus Rashford anyway, because I think, definitely Marcus Rashford is a foreseeable future for Manchester United and that. I've also been reading recent reports, and it does say, that we could change Marcus Rashford's position at the football club if we had to sign, Sancho and Kai Havertz, and that. I actually, do believe Rashford will probably, play out wide when the season does resume. I know he can play in number 9, but, you've actually not had Anthony Martial playing in that number 9 role this season and that. But actually, now there again, Rashford could, go back in the number 9 and that. But actually, Rashford seems to be more effective out wide, because that's where the vast majority of his goals do come from. Now, up until this point, Rashford has spent the entirety of his career with the football club. He has been a United player since the age of 7. And he was in our youth setup, for several years. Don't forget, we actually got him from Fletcher Moss, Marcus Rashford. Rashford has been in our senior squad since 2016. And, since then, he has become an integral part of our team. Don't forget, Marcus Rashford scored on his Europa League debut against Midtjylland. He scored twice on his Premier League debut against Arsenal. I think he also scored in his League Cup debut, his international debut for England, also scored in his first Manchester derby. Rashford, I think, has got, 60-odd senior goals in just over 200 appearances for the football club. So that is very, very impressive. Rashford is only at the age of 22. Rashford has got a contract with the football club until 2023, because last year Rashford, did sign a new long-term contract with the football club. And I think actually, Rashford is one of the highest paid players at Manchester United in that. Don't forget now, Rashford is back from his back injury. So obviously, when the season resumes, like I mentioned, he's going to be available, because Rashford, has been doing really, really well in training. Rashford actually, sustained the back injury in January in our 1-0 win against Wolves in the FA Cup third round replay and that. And like I said, Rashford, was a big miss, because overall Rashford's one of our best players, and he was one of our best players earlier on in the season before he got injured and that. So it did say back in 2018, Rashford agreed to join Barcelona. But, if we did decide to put Rashford up for sale, it won't sell him for cheap, probably, would want maybe 60 or 70 million pounds for him and that. So, there you go. So that is the latest news on Marcus Rashford. Now let's delve into the news on Paul Pogba. So Paul Pogba, does want to stay at Manchester United, so that is the positive news. And I think, Solskjaer's confirmed he will be Paul Pogba will be part of his plans for next season, which is, very, very good news. By the way, Manchester United do believe that Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, is the only one that wants Paul Pogba to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Now, don't forget, Mini Raiola, we've been very, very critical of him, reflecting on some of the comments he has said since the turn of the year. Don't forget, Mini Raiola has held talks, with Juventus. He held talks with Juventus the other week. I think it's recently mentioned that Real Madrid have had secret talks with Mini Raiola as well. But I actually do believe Paul Pogba is staying at Manchester United for next season. But I'm not too sure about the foreseeable future. Obviously, I'm very, very excited about the prospect of Paul Pogba playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, because they've not yet had the chance to play together in our midfield of Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. So there you go. But, there's still reports in the mainstream media mentioning, that Paul Pogba could still leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. I did say, didn't I, if Paul Pogba does leave Manchester United, he will make a return back to Juventus. Because, Paul Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. But the vast majority of his performances at Man United, though, since he rejoined, have been totally comparison to his ones in Turin. Paul Pogba at the moment is our most expensive signing. We did pay £89 million for him. Don't forget, last summer, Paul Pogba was relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. His actual preference was a move to Real Madrid last summer. But the main explanation why his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer was reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him, because we said last summer we wanted 180 million for Paul Pogba. But Paul Pogba made the admission last summer saying, that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. And he didn't only admit it, he publicly admitted that, he wanted to leave the football club and that. And I think he said earlier on this year that he told his teammates that he wanted to leave Manchester United, Paul Pogba and that. Now, don't forget, swap deals have been high on the agenda. Obviously, Juventus have tried offering us a couple of their players, to try and get Paul Pogba. Don't forget, like he updated you recently, these were stories were stemming from the Italian press saying that we're open to swapping Paul Pogba for Adrian Rabiot in the summer transfer window. Like I said, I'm very, very sceptical that swap deal will materialise. Obviously, Adrian Rabiot's been subject to a lot of transfer speculation in recent weeks at least. Obviously, Arsenal have been in talks of getting him. Adrian Rabiot's also held talks with Carlo Ancelotti, the Everton manager, in that. He's a cheap solution because I think Adrian Rabiot's available for around, is it 26 or 27 million pounds. Adrian Rabiot's enjoyed a very, very difficult first season with Juventus, but there again, Adrian Rabiot hasn't really been been given his chances in that, because Juventus has preferred the likes of Milan Pjanic and Aaron Ramsey and Matuidi ahead of Adrian Rabiot on that. Juventus didn't pay anything to get him. Obviously, they got him on a free transfer last summer from PSG. Adrian Rabiot has got a contract with Juventus until 2023. Don't forget, it did say a couple of weeks ago that Adrian Rabiot had told Juventus that he was going on strike and he was refusing to return to training. But actually, Adrian Rabiot had laughed this off and that. But I think we was also in for Adrian Rabiot, when he was at PSG, because analysing it, Adrian Rabiot spent the vast majority of his career, did spend the vast majority of his career with PSG. He was at PSG for several years and he won a total of 18 major honours with PSG. And he's in his mid-20s, he's like 25 or 26. Adrian Rabiot is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder and that. But I don't think that swap deal will materialise. Obviously, there's been talks of Federico Bernardeschi in recent weeks coming to Man United as part of a swap deal of, probably going back to Juventus. Obviously, there were stories recently as well. There were stories stemming from Gazzetta dello Sport recently saying that, if Federico Bernardeschi is to leave Juventus, he wants, to make a move to the Premier League. And he does say that us, Chelsea and Arsenal are interested in Federico Bernardeschi. That's obviously disregarding any swap deal. I think this has been Federico Bernardeschi's 3rd season with Juventus. To be fair, has done very, very well for them. Juventus did pay around 35 million pounds for him from Fiorentina back in 2017 and that. Back in 2017. And Federico Bernardeschi's got a contract with Juventus until 2022 and that. His versatility is very, very good. He can play as an attacking midfielder. He can play as a winger. And I think he's also been deployed as a box-to-box midfielder as Federico Bernardeschi, and he is in his mid-20s. So yeah, there's also been talks of Miralem Pjanic. There was talks of Mattis a little while ago. Aaron Ramsey's been spoken about as well. So Juventus have offered, quite a few of their players. Don't forget, there was a lot of reports saying last week that Real Madrid had offered us up to 4 of their players, to get Paul Pogba. And the players' names that were mentioned was Martin Odegaard, James Rodriguez, Brahim Diaz, and Lucas Vazquez. They were also mentioned as well. Like I said, Tino, in recent weeks, the likes of Inter Milan have been in for Pogba. There's still reports stemming out saying that, PSG are interested in Paul Pogba. I think for PSG to fund the move for Pogba, they'd either have to offload Mbappe or Neymar, because obviously, Mbappe and Neymar are the 2 most expensive players in the world and that. Don't forget also too, Barcelona have been in for Paul Pogba in the past. But there you go and that. Paul Pogba's got exactly a year left on his Manchester United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. The good news is as well regarding Paul Pogba, he is now back from injury. Paul Pogba's been training well. He's been training alongside Bruno Fernandes. Paul Pogba's only played 8 times this season for the football club. His appearances have been limited due to his injuries. The last game Paul Pogba played was on Boxing Day in our 4-1 win against Newcastle, and the last time he started from the start was back in September. But analysing it, Paul Pogba sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. But it's good, when the season resumes, that Paul Pogba is going to be available and that. Don't forget, like he updated you yesterday, Manchester United missed out on the chance to re-sign Paul Pogba back in 2013, and this was of course under the David Moyes era. But the reason we didn't re-sign Paul Pogba is because obviously David Moyes at the time was looking to get Cesc Fabregas for around £25 million. Now don't forget, Pogba endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. You can say in reality that we made a mistake by getting rid of Paul Pogba when he was younger under the Ferguson era, but we had to let him go on a free transfer because, his appearances then were limited in that. And Pogba is 27 years of age, and, he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him and all of that. But the good news is now it's looking, likely that he's staying at Manchester United. Pogba's one of the highest paid players at the football club. He's on £300,000 a week, is Paul Pogba. Don't forget, Teddy Sheringham was also talking about Paul Pogba last week. He gave his verdict on Pogba, and he actually, believes that Paul Pogba should leave Manchester United, and he was talking about, Paul Pogba lacking the Roy Keane factor, and he said, Manchester United need to replace Paul Pogba, someone with the right mentality and, the right desire and all of that. But yeah, I think he's staying at Manchester United, but let's be honest, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga, and, he's received a lot of criticism, since he rejoined, especially this season. I think, Paul Pogba's biggest critics throughout the course of this season have been Graham Souness and Roy Keane and that. And, effects on this, there's actually a few people, that have actually advised Paul Pogba to leave the football club. But Solskjaer's confirmed anyway, Pogba will remain at Man United next season. He has confirmed this. Obviously, revert back before the football season was suspended. Solskjaer was saying that, Paul Pogba will remain at Man United next season, because we've said if we sell him in the summer transfer window, we do want at least £100 million for him and that. And I said, it's very imperative that we do get more money for him than what we paid for him if we do decide to sell him in that. But, yeah. So I think Mini Raio's the only one that wants him to leave the football club. So that is the news on Pogba. And so far, Pogba's won 2 trophies at the football club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. But, there you go. So that is the latest news on Paul Pogba. Don't forget, on my recent video, I think it's just uploaded by the way, I give you the news on Odi Nagalo. Obviously, Odion Ighalo has agreed to extend his loan at Man United until the end of January 2021. So Odion Ighalo will be staying at the football club for another 7 months. I think it's just revealed as well that we are paying around 10.5 million to keep Odion Ighalo on loan until January 2021 and that. So obviously, this is very, very good news. Don't forget, we have no option to buy Odion Ighalo at the end of the loan. We have no option in that. But obviously, last week, you had Odion Ighalo's agent, and his agent even revealed that Odion Ighalo was close to agreeing a contract extension with Manchester United, because Odion Ighalo did reveal that he wants to stay at Manchester United, and also Solskjaer did say himself he wants Odion Ighalo to stay at the football club. But we have been in talks with Shanghai Shenhua for quite some time. Now, don't forget, Shanghai Shenhua did say that they would want around £20 million to let Odion Ighalo go on a permanent transfer and that. This is what, they had said. Don't forget, we did actually get Odion Ighalo in on deadline day in January. We got him on a 6-month loan. So we paid around, was it £4 million to get him on loan. Obviously, his stay was initially due to end. His initial stay, was due to end on the 31st of May. But obviously, now we've obviously reached an agreement with Shanghai Shenhua. I think you probably will be signing a new contract when he does go back to Shanghai Shenhua, because don't forget, back in March, Shanghai Shenhua had offered Odion Ighalo a 2-year deal worth £400,000 a week and that, because his current contract with Shanghai Shenhua runs until 2022, but they'll negotiate this when he does return. Don't forget, Odion Ighalo did actually say that he will risk a 75 million contract, to stay at Manchester United and that. So yeah, so this is very, very good news. But like I mentioned to you, he has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Odion Ighalo, of course, has got 4 goals in 8 appearances. Obviously, 2 of his goals came against Derby in the FA Cup. Also, one of his goals came against Club Brugge, was it? And obviously, he scored in the 5-0 win against Lasken. Like I mentioned, he's been a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford as Odion Ighalo and that. But, Shanghai Shenhua did actually say that, they would have liked us, to include an obligation to buy, if we are to extend his loan. But like I mentioned, there is no option to buy in that. But yeah, so I'm very, very delighted, that we have extended his loan, to be fair. Like I said, Odion Ighalo is an option of a different type of centre-forward. He's a lifelong Manchester United fan, don't forget. Obviously, before he was at Shanghai Shenhua, he was at Watford. I think he enjoyed quite a few years with Watford, did Ighalo. I think he scored 39 goals in 99 games in all competitions for Watford. And when he was at Watford, I think he played against us quite a few times. He's in his early 30s now, by the way, is Odion Ighalo. So, you do know the news on him. Obviously, my recent video as well, I give you the news on Raheem Sterling. And these stories regarding Raheem Sterling are stemming from The Independent, and they have said that Manchester United are interested in Raheem Sterling. And it actually said we could sign Raheem Sterling if Manchester City do have their European ban upheld. Now, don't forget, Manchester City got banned from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons for breaking financial fair play rules. Of course, City appealed against the decision. Like I mentioned, the appeal is a long process. And I think City's 2-year European ban will be heard by CAS this month. So I think we'll know the outcome on the 8th, the 9th, or maybe the 10th of June or something like that. To be honest with you, I'm very, very sceptical that Raheem Sterling will come to Manchester United. Don't forget, Real Madrid have also been long admirers of him. Now, Raheem Sterling, of course, this has been his 5th season with Manchester City. I think he has got a contract with Manchester City until 2023. I think he's actually Manchester City's highest paid player, in he on like over £300,000 a week. Obviously, he's won individual awards. I think he's won the PFA quite a few times, reflecting on his good run of performances. Don't forget Raheem Sterling's also won back-to-back titles with Manchester City. Back-to-back titles with Manchester City. City, did get him in a deal worth up to £49 million back in 2015. I think at that point, it was the highest transfer fee paid for an English player. Because don't forget, Raheem Sterling is a former Liverpool player. Enjoyed, quite a few years with Liverpool, did Raheem Sterling. Obviously, before he was at Liverpool, he was at QPR. I think, he actually began his career at QPR. Sterling is 25 years of age. His versatility is very, very good because he can play as an attacking midfielder. He can play as a winger. I think he can also be deployed as a striker as well, but I think he's supposed to be more effective from the wing is Raheem Sterling. And, Man United and Manchester City, don't really do transfer business together, despite the fact, that Manchester City did get Carlos Tevez from us, a lot of years ago. That now was it over a decade ago, something like that now. So, there you go. So, the news on Raheem Sterling. The news as well on Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. I've been keeping up to date of what's been going on with him. Don't forget, reports were coming out yesterday saying that Saul Niguez had posted a tweet saying that he will announce his next club in the next 3 days and that. Don't forget, reports were stemming from the Spanish press the other week saying that Saul Niguez to Manchester United is practically done. And, confirmation will be expected at the end of the season. It said a fee of around £70 million has been agreed for Saul Niguez. Saul Niguez's release clause is around £135 million in his Atletico Madrid contract. Saul Niguez has got a contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026. Obviously, Saul Niguez's release clause came into the equation when Saul Niguez signed that 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid back in 2017 and that. But this has been Saul Niguez's 12th season at Atletico Madrid. He's made over 300 appearances for them in all competitions, and he spent the vast majority of his career with Atletico Madrid. It also mentions as well that Manchester City are interested in Saul Niguez. Saul Niguez is in his mid-20s. He can play as a central midfielder. He can also play as a holding midfielder. When he was younger, I think he was predominantly a central defender, when he was younger, Saul Niguez. So obviously, you know the news on him. You obviously know the ongoing situation with Jadon Sancho. Of course, Jadon Sancho is our number one priority target. So there you go and that. But like I've said to you on my recent videos, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches the summer transfer window. Like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty for the summer transfer window, and like I mentioned, a lot of clubs are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window, because of the financial issues. But I do believe the top 6 sides do fear our transfer strategy for the summer transfer window. And Solskjaer's already revealed his transfer strategy. He still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer and that. And, he revealed his plans quite a while ago, for the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's already said he wants to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season. And obviously, we do want to, catch up with the likes of City and Liverpool because analysing it at the moment, City and Liverpool are strides ahead of us and that. And, the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. But like I've said to you on my recent video, Solskjaer does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows at the club. And he does deserve at least another season at Manchester United because it is a transition period. And like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. But there again, it has been a transition period for quite some time and that. But there has been so many players on our agenda. There really, really has and that. But like I've said to Solskjaer's got big decisions to make in the summer transfer window. Of what players, of course, he's going to recommend in. He's also, got to decide on what players he's going to get rid of as well in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window, maybe even more than that. So when we get rid of players in the summer transfer window, we're going to generate money in that way. I think definitely Jones is going. I think we'll get rid of Chris Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers. I think Jesse Lingard will go. By the way, Jesse Lingard's been talking with Smalling and Ashley Young over leaving Manchester United and that. I think probably analysing it, Jesse Lingard is the worst player that Man United have got at the moment. Pereira will go. You know the news on Alexis Sanchez. You know the news on Alexis Sanchez, don't you? Inter Milan, do want to extend Alexis Sanchez's loan. Inter Milan sporting director confirmed recently that Sanchez will be staying at Inter Milan until the end of the season. Don't forget, Sanchez joined Inter Milan on a 10-month loan last summer. But obviously, there's no option for Inter Milan to buy Alexis Sanchez at the end of the loan. I think after his loan, we do pay around £6 million and that. But it's good news for us that regarding Sanchez, that he's going to be staying at Inter Milan till the end of the season. His current loan with Inter Milan expires on the 30th of June. Sanchez has enjoyed a difficult time at Inter Milan. He enjoyed a difficult 18 months at Manchester United. But if we could get rid of him permanently, it would free up our wage bill completely. Sanchez, despite that he's on loan at Inter Milan, we're still paying the vast majority of his wages. We're still paying him like 300 grand a week, and Inter Milan are paying like the other £100,000. But there you go. So if we can't get rid of him permanently, I think we'll loan Sanchez back out, to be quite honest with you. The news on Diego Dalot as well. The news on him. In recent weeks, it said that Barcelona and PSG are in for Diego Dalot, but I think Solskjaer's revealed that he's determined to keep Diego Dalot at Manchester United. Obviously, he's a backup to Wan-Bissaka. Angel Gomez, it's looking likely, he's going to be leaving the football club. We've put forward a few contract offers in for him. There were stories coming out last week saying that we'd put a final contract offer in for him. We'd offered him around 1.5 million a year. Angel Gomez, which equates to almost 30 grand a week. But whether he accepts this or not, I do not know. Angel Gomez's appearances have been limited at the club. He's only made 6 first-team appearances this season as Angel Gomez. But he's not the only one that's found game time difficult. You've had James Garner that's found game time difficult. You've had Tahith Chon that's also found game time very, very difficult as well. So there you go. So we're going to get rid of more of the deadwood in the summer transfer window. But to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. I think a total of 19 players have left since Solskjaer got recommended in and that. Like I said, there's decisions that Manchester United have got to make for when, the season resumes. And there's decisions we've got to make ahead of next season. I think the decisions we've got to make before the season resumes, obviously, Solskjaer's got to, make a decision on his best 11 because he has been making a lot of rotation this season, but that's obviously, reflecting on the injuries we've had. I think he's also got to work out on his best formation because, let's be honest, Solskjaer's been changing formation persistently this season. He's been going like with the 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3, the 3-5-2, but from my own perception, we look more expansive with that 3-5-2 formation. So there's decisions that Solskjaer has definitely got to make, and that, like I said, we've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future, Diego Dalot's future, and yeah, so the decisions I think we've got to make ahead of next season. Obviously, we're facing a dilemma at left back. Who's going to be our first choice left back next season? Is Luke Shaw going to remain our first choice left back? Or is, Brandon Williams going to become our first choice left back? Because in the games Brandon Williams has played in this season, to be fair, he has done very, very well, but he's still inexperienced at the moment. We've already made the goalkeeping decision. David De Gea is going to remain our number one goalkeeper for next season. But David De Gea has been our number one for several years anyway. Don't forget, we've said in regards to Dean Henderson that he can stay on loan at Sheffield United till the end of the season. Next season, probably Henderson will be loaned back out. We won't get rid of him permanently, Dean Henderson, because we are seeing him as a long-term replacement for David De Gea and that. So there's decisions Manchester United have got to make, and like I said, if we make some signings in the summer transfer window, prime example, we get Sancho, Kai Havertz, and we change Rashford's position, then Martial, Down's going to find game time very, very difficult. And if Sancho comes in as well, Daniel James, he could also find game time very, very difficult as well. So let's just put that into the equation. But Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Ed Woodward. He's got the backing of Ed Woodward because Ed Woodward has said on quite a few occasions this season he's willing to back Solskjaer. And he's also showed that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. Like I said, Ed Woodward's been at the football club since 2012. This has been his 8th year at Manchester United. And like I said, we've been very, very critical of Ed Woodward. And the main explanations why we've been critical of Ed Woodward is reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been for several years. Also, too, with us overpaying for players and stuff like that. And his poor selection of managers because, 3 managers have been sacked since the Alex Ferguson era. And that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. So Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. So there you go. And, we've made a lot of bad decisions in the last 6 or 7 years and we've made mistakes as well. So that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. So there you go. And obviously, the Glazers, we've been very, very critical of them. And the Glazers have been at Man United since, 2005. They've been here now 15 years of the Glazers. So let's just put that into the equation, But, yeah. And don't forget, the other week we taken a £140 million loan from our £150 million revolving credit facility. Obviously, to help us get the players we want and need, and obviously, to help us through the coronavirus pandemic. The coronavirus pandemic, I think, has cost us 28 mil. And like I said, our net debt is now 429.1 million. So let's just put that into the equation now. So give Solskjaer more time at the football club. Definitely give him more time. But like I've said before, the signing of Bruno Fernandes definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United. 9 games to go in the Premier League, 92 games to play in all competitions. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.